Hey, Roger here. And I just got an email from a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and I want to share this with you. And it says, hey, Roger, our house on X Street is up for sale. We've already posted on Zillow at for sale by owner. I wish you could bring some clients here. Please let me know, and I will pay you your normal commission to bring it to the agent. Bring in the client we will choose. Not sure what that means. Please call me if you need any information. Thanks. So what she's doing, she's a friend, and she listed her house on her own. That's okay. And she's wanted me to bring her a buyer, and she's saying, I'll pay you your commission. Got a little problem with that. You see, here's the deal. And here's what sometimes people don't quite get if you're not a realtor. What she's saying is that she's going to pay me a commission to come and negotiate against her. That's what happens. When you sell your house on your own, you do end up paying the commission to the agent who brings the buyer. And so you're paying that agent to negotiate against you. Now, in this case, she's a friend of mine, and she wants to pay me to bring a buyer, which means I will negotiate against her. Now, listen, I have a legal obligation, a legal duty to negotiate in the best interests of my client, which in that case would be the buyer. I'm a real estate professional. She's not a real estate professional, which means I'm going to roll over her. And I'm going to use the inspection, maybe the appraisal, and other ways to get the best of her, to get the best deal possible for my client. And so it made me think this, that there's about 5 things you need to understand if you're going to sell your house on your own. Now, you can do that. Sometimes it does work out. In a super hot market, occasionally it worked out to some degree. That's okay. But just realize 5 things. Number 1, realize this, that you are paying an agent to negotiate against you. And if you're not a real estate professional, if you don't thoroughly understand real estate transactions, you will get plowed over. So that's number 1. Number 2, realize that if you price your house, the listing price is either too high or too low, it's a bad price, you're going to lose time and money. If you price your house too high, people think, well, we'll just price too high. If it doesn't sell, we'll just start bringing that price down a little bit. That sounds great, and I understand why you would think that would be a good strategy. It's just not that easy. Once you lose that window of opportunity of a new listing, it's hard to get that back. I mean, it's an uphill climb from that point on. And there again, if you list your house too low, then obviously you lose money on the table. Now, if you list it just a hair too low, you can survive that and you'll be okay. But if you list it too much too low, then you just lose money. So your price is too high, that's a problem. Too low, that's a problem. That's why a real estate professional can help you do that. Number 3, if you're listing your house, like in this case, she was going to put it on Zillow. That's okay, but you realize when a real estate professional lists their house for you, it's going to go on about 60 different websites, first of all. It'll go on Zillow, it'll go on realtor.com, it'll go on all those. And the real estate professional, like me, is going to market that house in a variety of other ways, through social media, all kinds of things, to make sure that you get your listing in front of as many eyeballs as possible. It only takes one buyer. That's the good news. It only takes one buyer to buy your house. But you sometimes have to cast a pretty broad net to catch that one buyer. Number 4, if you get a buyer that's unvetted, they're going to sidetrack you. You're going to lose a lot of time, a lot of momentum if you don't know how to vet the buyer. Somebody comes to you and makes an offer, that doesn't mean anything if they're not a qualified buyer. You've got to make sure they either have a letter from a reputable lender stating that they will loan them this money, or they've got to prove to you they have the money in the bank. If somebody comes to me and they say they're a cash buyer, I've got to see the bank statement. I've got to know they have the money in the bank. I vet them to make sure they're a legitimate buyer. You've got to know how to do that, or you can get sidetracked by not knowing how to vet your buyers. And lastly, number 5, if you make a mistake on your seller's disclosure, you leave something out, you leave yourself wide open for a lawsuit. A lot of people get sued because they made some glaring error on their seller's disclosure, not realizing it was a big deal. And they close on the house, and a few months later, something comes up that should have been disclosed. It wasn't disclosed properly, and the owner, selling the house by themselves, didn't realize how to handle the seller's disclosure, and they got themselves in a heap of trouble. And so all I'm saying is, if you do sell your house yourself, just make sure you understand the potential of those things that could happen. And anyway, blessings, and hope y'all are doing well. And if you have any questions about this, you can email me at roger@kyroger.com, or you can call me 859-552-6481. Hope you're having a great day.